Here is a little creative puke. I'd like to call stories which don't have a name yet. So here goes. A young girl in her young adult years stalked the darkness. Her hood loomed darkly over her face as she slunk silently in the black, empty streets. Bounding up the side of a building, she jumped up through the last rungs of a ladder and flung herself to the opposite side of the building. "Are you there?" "Yes, of course he is. Why would anyone want to miss an opportunity for a free woman?" She glared, watching her prey and a woman crossing the road, laughing and giggling like children. Tripping up the curb, they chuckled and fell into the building the girl watched from. Waiting a few moments, she slunk back down to the ladder and entered the building. It was old and putrefying. The walls were crumbling and the wooden frames rotted in their abandonment. The whole place wafted pungent fumes of damp and staleness, not to mention the dull, pale, frail colouring of the walls. The girl remembered this place in all its glory. People flourished and queued for miles around to use one of these rooms. The top of the building was used for rich and wealthy hotel rooms, while the lower and less extravagant rooms were given to the drunk and the poor and people who mainly used the rooms for sex and drugs. "Why bring me here?" she muttered disgustingly as she delved deeper into the building. I remember it being called Brûlade de la Vie, Mist of Life. Back in its heyday. The girl grinned and gave a small chuckle. The further she delved, the more graffiti and more broken the building got. Thankfully, the girl felt the rotting floor quake. Listening silently, she noted the location of the source of sound, and light on her feet, she ran to the room. 662. Very funny. Let's get this over with, she muttered, rolling her eyes and readying her weapons. She smashed the door open with ease, splaying wooden splinters everywhere as she yelled out the name of her prey, relishing her anger and pain, glaring into the fright-drunken eyes of her victim. You are a snivelling, evil, scheming rat. How dare you even consider blaming my family for your family's death? You knew we were out of town. You knew that we would be coming back the day during the hour of the event. Why blame us? I have waited 3 whole years to get my own back, to grasp my hand. She began running and grasping the victim's throat and placing a long, sharp penknife to her soft skin. Cornering the victim and pinning them to the wall, she continued, "Long have I waited for this moment. The moment of freedom, the moment of proper, decent justice. To regain respect my family rightly deserved. This night shall be your last." She screamed, spitting, tears swelling up as she began to shake. The other woman in the room began to stop the girl. "Hey, Thea, you didn't say anything about killing someone," she stuttered, falling back into the doorway in fear for her friend. Thea, glaring at her and growled, "Stay away, Alessa." "Thea, please." The victim spat through tears and terror. "It was the only way," they continued, with the last bit of oxygen they could muster. Thea threw her prey to the floor and stared at them in the moonlight. Whipping off her hood, she revealed her face. "Now you get to see my face as you die. It was the only way. Like fuck was it? How could you do a thing like that?" she cried, in her anger rising again, her fists clenching as they were ready to swing, the dagger in one hand and an empty fist in the other. The opposing figure retreated backwards into the dark, in fear, holding up one hand and waved and begged for mercy. You think that I would give you mercy for what you did. You shall pay for your crimes, and it will be slow, and it will be painful." She growled, launching into the darkness upon the body of her prey. Alessa, the other woman, began to run from the building, knowing full well that this will not be the last time she sees Thea, and feared that the next meeting will not be a pleasant one. Well, I hope you guys liked my reading, and maybe if you could comment down at the bottom, that would be great, and because I can always do with some feedback. But bear in mind that I accept every comment, love, hate, whatever. So, hope you enjoy my video and tune in next time.